Good. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Sonic Adventure 2 for the Nintendo GameCube. It's actually been ported to PC. So I'm just gonna get right into it. There are like 3 playstyles in this game. You have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Sonic here, they're called the action stages, and you go pretty fast. You start off on this board, which is pretty simple. You just don't hit walls, don't break, because breaking is slow, and you go on these jumps. So the way Sonic works is that, okay, I saved all the cutscenes. Yeah, so the way Sonic works, is you have this spin dash move. It's pretty fast. Oh, I just died. I'm supposed to go on the rail, but that didn't work. So now I just gotta start over.
Good, alright.
Attention all units. Suspect seen heading south. Block all major roads and capture the suspect.
Yeah. So I guess I could just repeat all my commentary if you wanted me to, but I don't think you do. Okay, so let's just start from here. So Sonic has this thing called spin dashing, right? And it's fast. So pretty much what we're going to be doing is trying to spin dash as much as possible. Unfortunately, if you go too fast, the game will like throw you in the air. And so I do not usually have problems with this. I'll call it run nerds. I actually practiced this a lot and didn't have any problems. So you get to hear more City Escape, which is everyone's favorite song. I don't actually like it that much. Yes, people do too. Oh yeah, if you hit a card, you hit all the cards. It looks pretty spectacular. Actually, there's a glitch. If you have certain graphics cards, one of those like big trolley things will appear over you and block half your screen for the first part of the level. It's not nice. So yeah, if you cancel with spin dash as you're going over a ramp, or onto a ledge like that, the game will like lock you to it, so you don't go flying into the air. And if I'm bad, I will show you what it looks like when you do go flying into the air. It looks like that. You can chain spin dashes together by starting them and then canceling them immediately, and it preserves your speed. And actually, the reason why spin dashing is faster is that there's a speed cap when you're just running compared to spin dashing. So like right there, I spin dash down the building, and save like a second over not doing that. And the thing I was about to tell you about something called a spin dash jump, which is spin dashing, which is going fast, and jumping, which is going up. Going fast up is pretty good. And so it lets you cross large gaps like that one, except I hit the enemy, so that didn't happen. I do not want to go on that. All the fun tricks and stuff, or at least most of them, in this game that give you points are actually pretty slow. Yeah, so this truck section is really just about, again, trying to cancel the spin dashes so you don't go flying in the air. Because it's literally just all ramps.
Yes!
And by being on the side there, you go straight into the boomerang, so it's that when you jump into it.
Just made it.
So now we have the first boss in the game, Bigfoot.
This game of tag is
And there's a quick flow.
Finally decided to
There's a quick flow you can do on it. Basically, you're supposed to wait for it to fly around and land on the ground, but by jumping on the boxes, you can get enough height. So what you have to do is, at the very beginning, do a homing attack, and then just jump on this box. But then you have to do a somersault, and then jump on the box again. Otherwise, you don't have enough speed to hit it. Oh, I was too slow. You have to be really quick about it, or it keeps flying off.
This is Spider Troop Bigfoot. Bigfoot to headquarters. Over. Indicating free enemy and request back.
bosses in this game are actually, I'd say there's a lot of time saved.
Hey guys.
In bosses,
take
there's like
care.
going from being a beginner. Like there's this pretty popular email within the Sonic community called "Get Good at Bosses." It's a pretty rad-looking shadow. So now we have the Knuckle stages. Knuckles, it's literally RNG. You're supposed to find 3 shards of Master Emerald most of the time. And they're spawned at random. I am going the wrong direction. And so you have this helpful radar that will tell you, and that shows you whether you're near a piece. This piece here is the worst one in the stage, versus stupid rock. Yeah, so there's a radar, but it's actually a lot faster to just take a hint. Because each piece has a, for the most part, unique. I don't want to. For the most part, unique hint. And so you just look at the hint and memorize where the piece is. And each stage has like 100 of these. So, and there's 5 stages. So that's, 500 pieces you have to memorize, and that's a lot. Takes a lot of practice, a lot of time to learn it.
Yeah, this is perfect.
At the higher level, RNG doesn't actually lose a lot of time. Like if you get bad RNG, it's like a minute, which is significant-ish, but it's not like, it's not terrible. It's bad, but it's not terrible. Execution definitely saves a lot more time. So here we have Eggman 1. He likes to walk straight towards you and get shot by all your bullets. You can go in circles and get shot by your bullets. And so it's basically all the boss fights.
Hey, how's that?
And yeah, that's Tails. So now we start an actual stage with Tails. So each stage in this game kind of has its own gimmick. So like the stage gave it's, hey, you're on the board. With this stage is you have to shoot enemies to unlock these cage doors. So really this being good in this stage is about shooting these enemies as fast as possible and knowing which ones you need to hit and which ones you don't. Moving against Tails, it's pretty wonky. You're gonna see me jumping a lot. Because he's in this big mech. And big mechs have a lot of momentum. And so it's hard to stop or turn them. Unless you're in the air, in which case you can super all the physics. So there's a thing called a gate hop you can do where you hop on the gate there and just skip going on this ramp thing. But I got shot, so I'm gonna blow it off. And here you can just jump on the back of the elevator, which would be useful for shooting more enemies for a gate coming up. Also this nice glitch called the whistle glitch. You gain points by locking multiple enemies, and by performing a whistle you can cancel their firing animation, so you get the points but you don't have to kill the enemies. And that's used in some other categories where you can get A-rings, which are based off of points. You just farm points. Click on the momentum thing, like here, jump around the corner to preserve momentum. You shoot these 3 enemies that are blocking this gate. And here you have to jump. There's actually one like above that opens the door up there. And yeah, it's pretty simple.
I did it! That was easy.
Now we have Metal Harbor. It's a good, better than Stage Escape. It's a good way of demonstrating all the like tricks you can do with Sonic. So first off, you can skip loops because loops are slow. They go in a big circle and put you in the same place. So you just jump out of it. But here, also, yeah, those red squares actually like stop you. So here you do like more spin dash jumps. But if you hit one of the red moving things, it'll like cancel all your momentum and then you fall in the water and die. Now we have the light dash shoes. They're not very special to do light dashes. Or you can not do light dashes. Yeah, I mean, what I was saying before, most of the walls in this game are only solid on the side you need them on. You're supposed to be walking on them. So, you can do things like this, but you just go through the floor. There's another trick here, it's called storage. So basically, this game puts all of your buttons on the B button, all your reactions on the B button. And so, you're supposed to hold down B for a spin dash, but like you've already pressed B, and pressing B is a somersault. So it would give you the properties of a somersault or skipping the animation. And also, missing watching 15 seconds fire. You can just spin that shove up a ramp and go into the air. So I'm gonna shout the music in this game. It's good in almost all the stages. Just be like electric guitar.
Yes! Barely made it.
So now we have the only unskippable, well, the first of two unskippable cutscenes in the game. The other one's after this fight. Everyone knows all the text. I'm not gonna recite it.
Blue hedgehog again of all places. I found you.
I'm getting booed for that.
Faker. I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh.
So
You're not even good enough to be.
I do like the writing in this game.
There's no time to play games.
So yeah, Shadow, like I said, storage gives you somersault properties. Shadow does not know what to do with that, so you just run into him and then
I see.
he gets wrecked.
So you're not just that dumb. Not bad for an imposter. Do you know who I am?
So yeah, here we are in the middle of the stage. Don't mind all these springs and enemies and stuff that weren't there before.
Shadow, what are you doing? Hurry and get back here right now before the island blows up with you on it!
Blows up?
So yeah, Green's Forest, fun fact, is actually the second stage made for this game. The first being a similar stage called White Jungle and Dark Story. And so there's a lot of things wrong with it. The conclusion is very jank at times, like that. There's just a lot of, you know, like even in the game's files, it's pretty whacked up. So I may die here because walls, like you saw, the floors are ramped. And Sonic does not do well on those. I think he's like jittering about. So yeah, as I said, loops are bad. There is a way to skip that one. It's pretty hard. I don't know how to do it. But that's okay. So now here, we're back where we were during the cutscene. There's actually a pretty cool trick you can do here. It's like one of the hardest ones in the game. It's called Tree Run. As you can imagine, you run in the tree. And it involves basically some weird physics. The reason that the Sonic sticks on those walls, like when you're going down, is because they actually change the gravity. So what you can do is that you can like spin dash off of the like edge guard. I don't know what to call it. Like the rim here. In order to preserve Sonic having a strange gravity. Also, we're gonna skip that entire segment. You're supposed to like bungee jump because that's slow. We just go up and over. That just completely canceled my spin dash. I don't know what that was.
Yes! Huh. No problem.
I have the next Knuckle stage. So you start off by getting this. Well, I guess you start with the cutscene.
This place sure feels haunted.
So the thing about the 3 pieces is that even though the radar goes through each of them in order, you don't have to get them in order. Like they're all spawned. Anyway, you start the stage. We're getting that upgrade. That lets you dig 3 pieces in the ground, and the game actually will only spawn piece. The last piece will always be in the ground until you grab that upgrade, forcing you to get it. So there's actually some good pieces and a lot of bad pieces that you can get that aren't buried in the ground. Like some of them are free to actually potentially spawn kill. Speaking of bad pieces. I'm going to take the rocket. It's probably faster. Yeah, it's all the way out here. Which sucks.
It's close. I found him.
Yeah, so if you get
Yeah,
grungy, you can
this
actually
is
get 3
perfect.
pieces that are just like sitting out. They're not very common in the stage because the ones that are all buried. They're really common in Wild Canyon because you don't have the digging upgrade, and so there's a lot of pieces just sitting around. But we get back to that. So now we're on Mission Street. This stage is like elevator cycles the level. There are a couple of spots in the level where there are these floating hexagonal pillars that are on global cycles. So you have to, in order to get the best cycle, you pretty much have to, be really good. Better than I am because I just spawned. Well, that's unfortunate. This is a thing you can do, or you should be able to do. So these are the processes that you jump and hover. If you're able to get to the top section there, you can skip the trigger that gets rid of that block in the road. Which lets you conserve some momentum when running on the ground, which lets you jump on top of that way and like save a good 10 seconds. Yeah, so this is technically the third part. Yeah, all these hexagonal pillars are on a cycle. So coming up with a thing called a hover drop. The way the hover works is that it's kind of prevents you from going beneath a certain falling speed. So what you can do is you jump and hover before you reach the peak of your jump and you gain extra height. And so there I used a pause buffer just to jump and hover on the same button. So that you get the jump and the hover pretty quickly. So this here, for the timer, you see that the pillar in the back there? That's the one that really matters for time. Because it moves a lot faster than these ones. So this one, I'd say got. So we time cycles for that one in the back. So the one I was just on is called a half cycle. It loses about 3 seconds in the regular cycle. Also, we can just fly over this pit. This game is really bad with curved surfaces, so those ones are just not solid. Those rails are just not solid outside. We're all pretty. Yeah, so the cycle I got in this stage was the second cycle. Maybe it was first cycle, I'm not sure. Or third cycle. There's actually this thing called zero cycle. Before, like when we discovered that you could go on that late early, so that you could get a cycle earlier than the one we thought was previously the first one possible. So we call it zero. So now we have the next Knuckles stage. Unlike in Pumpkin Hill, this intro cutscene actually can show pieces to you, if we get lucky.
I didn't expect the inside of the mines to be like this. This is gonna be tougher than I thought.
Three piece. Oh, wait. There's a trick you can do. We can clip out of bounds by doing a move is called a spiral uppercut. It has a pretty large hitbox. And it can be used to get some hits in ways you're not supposed to, but not these ones.
It's closer. It's closer. I found him.
I actually kind of like the hints in this game. Basically how it works is there are 3 hints you get for piece. The first one tells you like the stage feature that's nearby.
Yeah,
And I think it's kind of like, I don't want to say quirky, but like when you get the piece you go, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not sure enough to say. Oh yeah. So this next save is it's driving. Because we all like racing games, right? I actually had to, before this run, calibrate my controller on Windows, because otherwise your turning speed's like greatly reduced. So pretty much the main gimmick with the racing stage is this thing called swerving. It like changes your physics so that you kind of like you're swerving like out of control. Not really out of control, because it's better. It's actually a lot better than the turning you have when you're not swerving. As long as you know what you're doing. You also have to watch your rings in this stage, because that determines whether you get boosts or not.
I'm getting closer.
Boosts are good because when you're in swerving, your normal speed cap is reduced, or is eliminated really. So it's based off of, I'll say like you're going downhill, going uphill. So it's important to have a boost when you go uphill, so you can keep going fast. Because when you're boosting, you gotta keep that when swerving, but not when not boosting. You also have to keep moving back and forth to avoid hitting walls and stuff when swerving. Because if you just go straight, you lose swerving. If you're not swerving, you're going straight.
Tails, did you find the president?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty boring stage. There's not a whole like the time variance is really small based off of. I mean, it's not. It's based off of whether you get the rings you need and don't hit walls. So this turn here, you actually have to hit a wall. It's like there's no way to turn without it, even for swerving around. My time is actually surprisingly good, for the amount of rings I lost. Like, I missed getting, I should say.
Yeah, I found the president.
The, like, optimized time is like a 2:13 in this stage. Because eventually it gets to the point where you just can't go any faster. And like, on that brand of times, like, if you're really bad, like I used to get a lot with like 2:25s, so it's like, small difference really. So now I'm getting to like I'd say that the most technical stages in the game. There's 3 of them in a row. Not even well actually there are cutscenes, but no bosses. Here's this Tails hidden base. This one has a lot of tricks in it, which I will probably be failing at least once. You also don't have to worry about these pillars you have to shoot down, and these doors you have to shoot down. And going fast and shooting the doors at the same time is hard. So you use hover jumps, a hover jump there to get on top of these pillars that you're supposed to break. And because you're not supposed to be up here, the devs did not make the wall solid, so you just go through them. You can go around. These walls are solid, and you can get clipped to the corner. But it drives you down. That's kind of what walls do in this game. And so. I think I'm only going to go for that trick once. Time concerns. So yeah, that's the hard way to do it. The easy way is to just go through this wall here, and then go back into bounds. Still skip having to like bullet stuff up. So here, you just fly over the sand. And here you do the same thing. It's pretty slow, so you should fly. Now you can see, you have to hit these doors. These doors take 3 shots to break, and you have to be pretty good about that. You can also just jump over them sometimes. In these hover jumps. One 135 is really bad cutscene time. I've gone 125 is usual for me, but I took the long route. So yeah. You can see it's very technical, lots of hover jumps. Summit Prospect, you're not supposed to be here, so you just go through the wall. These two, the last part of the stage is 2 of these pillars here, so you shoot 1 from the bottom below, and then so that you break it faster.
I did it! That was a little tough.
The Pyramid Cave is a bit like Metal Harbor in that it has wide open sections. Once you get past the intro, I'll show you. It'll be more obvious. But mainly it's because of the upgrade it has. It lets you just improve things. These hourglasses are pretty good, so you just spin dash into them and then you go flying up. And here, same thing, go into the wall. You do a thing called a spin dash, however. If you hold A, your jumps get extended. That applies just if you're in the air. So we gain a lot of time from that. So here we have the bounce playset. And the bounce playset also lets you fly. It's a skill called a super bounce. You basically turn your horizontal momentum into vertical momentum. You coincidentally have this tool that gives you a lot of horizontal momentum. So you can go flying up. Oh. I guess we're taking the long route, guys. I actually don't know what's down there. Like, even casually, I never go to get the rail that much. And so here on this door, we're supposed to take us. Ghost. This is the Ghost of Shame. You're supposed to go on the side path, but there's actually a tiny little seam between the door and the wall that you just spin dash them through. So yeah, I think the reason Preliminary Cave is so technical is not because it's because of all these tricks. There's actually a lot that I just haven't even done. There's a lot of skips and stuff and bounces that I don't even feel confident trying to do. So I'm not. Also because again, like, so I mentioned the tree run earlier. You can do a similar thing here with these ramps, or these rims, to go flying across the pit and skip all these loops. That's next on my list of things to learn.
Huh, no problem.
The Death Chamber, is the number stage that punishes you the most for not knowing where things are. So it's designed kind of it's like kind of a labyrinthine layout. So going to the wrong place takes a long time to get back to the right place.
Break open the steel containers.
There are unfortunately tricks that you can use to break out of bounds. There's actually quite a lot of them. I actually just learned how to do this. You just kind of walk towards. Oh, I can't do it. Basically, you just walk into the corner and then jump and glide, and you flip out of bounds. It's like really simple, and it gets you where you need to go, which is all the way over here.
It's closer. 2 more left.
Yeah, so this RNG is bad. The stage is set up like a right triangle. And so we've just gone from one corner to the opposite corner. Taking the hypotenuse, which is basically going through the floor here. There's side paths that go from red to green and green to blue. But there's none, or from red to green and red to blue, but there's none from green to blue. Other than going through the center. Knuckles punches like the home and on things. Which is unfortunate when you don't want to.
One more left.
Let's see. Yep, this is absolute garbage RNG. Yeah, so yeah, bad execution loses a lot of time. Bad RNG also loses a lot of time. Now that I think about it, I just went a long way to get to this piece. Wait, no I didn't. There's a clip you can do, the door clip, you can do that to get to that. To get to this third piece. It's in one of these side rooms. Which actually see these paintings in the middle of the hallway, which is... Yeah, that's a really bad RNG. Execution was alright. With not much green, you have to go from green across the map to blue, and then across the map again to green.
Huh? Who's there? What the? A ghost?
So this King Bing Boo, probably the biggest time save in the run, because his attack timings are really slow, and you can skip all of them. I always tell everyone that this trick is easy, but I do mess it up sometimes. When we get to it. Basically, how it works, so Knuckles enter lesser extent, and also Rouge, have the highest ground speed in the game, and so the developer doesn't actually expect you to go this fast, but you just hold upright after hitting him, and you can hit him more because you keep up with him. So yeah, that turns a probably 4-minute fight into a 1-minute fight. That's pretty good. So now we get into, alright, a golem. 2 bosses in a row here. This boss is also really technical because you have to do super bounces off of these super small ledges. And so it's like, they calculate, I think it's a 5-frame window to get your super bounce off. So I'm not very consistent at them. I will try them anyway. Otherwise I'm just going to do the casual way on the back. Fortunately, you should only have to do this 3 times. Because after 3 hits, you start doing this. I'm good, and you can actually hit him. There's actually a visual cue after he hits his hands on the ground, but on some graphics cards, kind of like the weird trolley glitch. Whoa. There we go. Oh, that was it. Oh.
Nice try, Rocky.
Yeah, so if you can't tell, my run of this game isn't that good. I recommend watching some of the good runs because they do some pretty spectacular looking things. But there is one spectacular thing I can show you guys, which is now we're in space. And the last stages in the game, most of them have flip outs. I'll let you skip most of the stage. I only know one of them, which is this stage. But it's pretty cool. So you're doing this thing where I like jump and then hover for just a split second. That's because you have to do that, otherwise you hit the door because you're going too quickly. Like, or you have to say it opens too slowly. And so doing that lets you preserve your top or most of your speed. Obviously it slows down a little bit. And go through the doors. So this stage has another as a cycle too. I know there are other ones in the back, but the more important one is later in the stage. You're even wait. It seems kind of weird for me to stop to shoot that, but letting the weight drop is slower. So here we have a first encounter with artificial chaos, which are actually like some of the only enemies in the game that continue to pose a threat to you. You gotta do this cool juke here when you're playing as Sonic and Knuckles, or especially Knuckles. So now here, we're going to... This is the cycle that matters. I don't think I'm fast enough for the cycle to matter that much. But here, so when the door opens... Yeah, so when the door opens, it actually starts as a hitbox. So you put yourself in a corner, and then the door pushes you out of bounds. And so then you just fly straight to the goal ring. Now just laser to the music here. Such a riveting gameplay. Ta-da!
I did it!
Yeah, that's it. I don't actually know how much time that saves. I think it's
gotta do better
around a
next
minute.
time.
But it's surprisingly easy to pull off. So now the last Knuckles stage. There's not much to say about it. It's a pretty large stage, so RNG does matter. Like you have to go up to the top and then back down to the bottom.
Two more left.
The RNG isn't that bad. There's this one piece in the game called Blowing Sun Above the Moon.
It's closer. One more left.
And we saw that big... This is... That RNG was okay. They didn't have to make multiple chips up, which is good.
It's closer.
Yeah, there's a piece that literally loses 20 seconds over every other second piece. It's at the very top of the stage.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Next up, we have another boss. It's and wait for it to load. There's Rouge the Bat, who we haven't seen before. We skipped all the cutscenes where she was in. Actually one of them.
No see, treasure hunter.
Again, I like the writing here.
Find my
She claims that was the
emerald?
master.
Your emerald. Talking to you is a waste of time.
And she's supposedly a clever thief, but she doesn't actually know how to fight us.
That's how you want to play.
So
I will take it from you.
we jump in the air and she just gets super confused, and so we just pole dance or jiggle or Joe jumping jacks, whatever you want to call it, and just kill her.
I never lose.
Get away from my emerald.
So that's all we see. So now we have Crazy Gadget, which is the meme stage in this game, because it also has a skip that lets you skip most of the level, and then it also has another skip that lets you skip the skip. And how that works is it starts in the same spot, but it skips more of the level. Or like it gets out of bounds faster and it's, oh shoot. Yeah, so as if you couldn't tell, we're not supposed to be upside down there, but the power of super bounces lets us go up there. I will not be doing either of the skips. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it's definitely the second most tentacled Sonic stages after Pyramid Cave. It's the one I have the most trouble with. A checkpoint actually has like a pretty poor hitbox. Like you can sometimes go straight through it. So yeah, if you were doing a skip, you take this right arrow, and then you'd fly. Well, this is what skip you're doing. Basically, if you're doing the original skip, you go through here on the wall. And with the skip, you just go straight out of bounds. Because the goal is to go this way. What the heck? I'm glad I got the checkpoint. You should skip that checkpoint, as it doesn't. I never die here. I don't think I've ever died here. Or, yeah, I have died. Yeah, so basically, you go out of bounds here. If you see the wall, it's right there. The glow ring is like right behind there on the left side. And it's not so, it's you just go through the wall and land on the glow ring. But first you die, and then you land on the glow ring. But that's a minor detail. Sonic. Sonic. You don't want to kill these guys. You can have do some cool stuff here. It was take that bottom path, but you just don't. The Road Constellation Prize, it's this last room. Casually, a lot of people have troubles with it. You have to go around in this giant maze. See, I can exit on you too, but you can. But you can just do a super bounce. Whoops, just jump there. I just completely whiffed that. But yeah, you just go super bounce right on the ceiling, and then go through the floor and skip the entire room. Come on. There we go. Yep.
Yes! Barely made it.
So I have lots of tails you're gonna see. It's just a boss fight. It's Eggman 2. If you don't know what you're doing in the fight, we'll easily kill you, because Eggman shoots giant lasers to take out half your health in one hit. But you can manipulate him. a couple ways to do it. This one that I learned recently. Not a lot of people do it, but it's pretty fancy. Basically, you get this giant capsule in the center to explode on him. Yeah, I think it's that. And then you just kill him.
I can't lose to
I did
Tails.
it!
So I'm getting to the final stage. This one also has a skip, but I won't be doing. Basically, the level was like a giant loop, so you can actually get out bounce pretty early in the level and just go around some kill planes, and then land at the goal. Now it uses that kind of the same thing as earlier when I talked about skewing your gravity. It works from those too, so you can fall sideways. Maybe to show it off a little bit down here. So I can see he kind of was lopsided in the air. Actually, I've only gone like once, but you can actually do a light dash there on those rings and skip the rail. It's pretty swag. Yeah. This is actually the really slow way of doing it. Like, even if you don't do the skip, or it's actually a faster skip that involves going through a kill plane. Check out the edit here when you want to see that one. But you can do a similar. Shoot. Rip. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, you can actually do a similar thing with the skew gravity to land on the wall, and you literally just run up the wall across this entire section and skip all of it. Yeah, most of the stage is just running on rails, so it's... Yeah, a good way to show off the screwdriver is actually right here. As you notice, he's falling into the wall. And then you can do a cool thing here, where you just fall sideways.
Yes.
Well, I'm dead. Just to make that rail and then do a much better trick that will give you enough height to land on the platform. Like that. Then we have a pretty simple jump. I don't know how the devs didn't think you'd be able to make that, but you can. Yeah, that's the stage.
Yes.
So now we get into the final boss, which is Shadow 2. If it goes well, you won't be seeing much of it. It'll go by pretty quickly, because you can basically just manipulate his AI, hit him while he's in the air, and then hit him again while he's in the air, and he dies. But if you do it wrong and like casually, it can take a long time.
Before this is over, I'll show you the true power of chaos control.
Also, it can be annoying to hit the first time. There we go. Oh.
This is the ultimate.
So yeah, I really didn't get it right. Yeah, you usually just do this thing where you force him to jump and then you hit him. Oh, or he can die. Oh, look, Shadow. He didn't do his get control very well.
Before this is over, I'll show you the true power of chaos control.
A shadow special attack. Use the somersault to avoid the chaos.
There we go. There we go.
Impossible. I am the ultimate light. Game over, Shadow.
So yeah, that's the run. And then the last hit there. The game does have an auto splitter, so I don't usually have to worry about that. And that's Hero Story. Ending cutscene, woo. What was my time?
Sonic, I
Not
did
bad.
it.